Thank you. So let me share the screen first.
All right, we can see your screen.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know. And let me chat. So good evening,
You
everyone. And
can,
yeah,
yeah, you can start. You can click on the slideshow. Yeah, perfect. Now you can
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Thank you. So, good evening, everyone, and it's truly an honor to be here at the India Cloud Security Summit 2025. And today, I'm excited to share insights on the simplifying the data governance with Microsoft Purview. So, before diving into the topic, I would like to, thank the organizers and our sponsors, Microsoft and the Pantera Technologies, for making this gathering possible. And today's summit is all about exploring how we can secure, govern, and unlock the power of the data and cloud in an ever-evolving threat landscape. So with that, let's get started, right? So here, welcome to the session 11. Session 12. My name is, as shown here, is Jay Surya SM. I'm currently working as a data analyst at Product Technologies. Over the next 45 minutes, we will explore how the Microsoft Purview can simplify the data governance, not just as a compliance tool, but as a strategic enabler for better data discovery, classification, and protection as well. So we all know that the data governance often feels complex, right? So multiple data sources and the different stakeholders and evolving the regulations can be, feels as the complex to all the data governance people. So today I will show you that how Purview brings the clarity to that complexity using the automation, centralized management, and the AI-driven insights. So by the end of this session, I hope I will you will see the data governance not as a checkbox, right? But as an opportunity to create the trust, efficiency, and the business value you can feel. So let's get started. So now it's introduce the main hero of our session, the Microsoft Purview. So when we say that the Microsoft unified data governance, what do we really mean? And most of the organizations today have data spread across on the on-premise systems, cloud services, and SaaS apps, and even the external data marketplaces. So this fragmentations, which creates the complex risk and operational inefficiencies, and make it harder and harder to extract the business values from the data. So Purview, which addresses these challenges by bringing up all your data assets and wherever they are live under a single government umbrella, right? So it does three things really well. First is that helps you to discover and classify the data automatically and gives you the visibility to understand where the sensitive data resides. And the third thing is that make it easier to protect and manage the data responsibly. And it shows the data. It's not just a liability, but an competitive assets to the business. And in short, the purview which helps you to maximize the business value of the data, not just to make managing it. Before getting into the how Microsoft Purview helps, we can just talk about that why it is matters. So studies like this one from Harvard Business Review shows that the organizations embracing the data-driven transformations see concrete, measurable outcomes. So first, we have the 54% increase in revenue performances, which means that the data is not just a back-end asset. So it's directly drives top-line growth, and the second one is that the 44 percentage of faster time to the market, which assisted to better the governed data means to teams spend less time on the searching, cleaning, or they will be worrying about the compliance. It's oftentimes and more time it's you can consider it as an innovating one. And the third one, the 62 percentage of the improvement in the customer satisfaction when the data is trusted and the accessible. the customer-facing teams, which can deliver the more personalized and consistent experiences. And finally, yeah, for 54 percentage, which increases in uh, profit results, which shows that the Microsoft Purview, which assists on the governance, it's not just a cost center, but an investments that pay off. All of this set to the stage that the data governance is not all about the control for the control's sake. It's all about like unlocking the business value responsibly and securely. So here and doing this isn't easy. That giving the realities of the data today. So the value, the volume, and the variety and the velocity of the data are all accelerating dramatically, and the complexity of the creating of an enterprise knowledge graph, which seems to be insortable. And today we generate the data far faster than we are able to understand it, right? So in fact, IDC, which predicts that by 2025, just the world's data will climb to the 175 zettabyte. To put that in a perspective, if you were to store that the data in a stack of the Blu-ray discs, so you will be able to go to the moon and back 23 times better. So without the right people, the processes and the capabilities in the place, it can be difficult to answer the fundamental questions. So getting the right answers of these the possible where possible when all your data assets are connected and managed in the cohesive fashions. So this is why we announced that the Microsoft Intelligent Data Platform, the leading cloud platform that empowers organizations to invest more time creating the value rather than integrating and managing their data estate. So first, the platform which is made up of the capabilities across the databases. So the analytics and the data governance that on their own and it meets the specific business needs and already brings many the benefits, but together helps the easily and evolving the applications to include the advanced analytics and intelligence. So it is the integration. It's the integrations of the products that you can already using that you are already using today to accelerate the innovations and achieve the agility. So we want to remove the key points of the frictions. So for removing the key points of the frictions between your databases and the analytics systems, so while ensuring your the full data estate can be automatically mapped and the governed, and the organizations can they can analyze the large volumes of the operational data in the real time, uh, and of course with the no extractions transformation or the loading pipelines like ETL or ELT, and no performances impact of the transactional workloads. So we are also integrating the in Purview that the intelligent data platform with the rest of the Microsoft Cloud for enabling the richer data experiences for the business users of Microsoft 365 and Dynamics 365, and as well as the Power Platform as well. And let's step back and look at the big picture of why data governance matters. So especially today in 2025, as of now, nearly all corporate strategies, well over 90 percentage, which recognize the data as a critical enterprise asset. And in fact, by this year, 2025, IDC projects that world is generating around 175 zettabytes of the data annually. Visualize that, the 1 zettabyte is a billion terabyte. And this amount of the data growth is staggering, but it's not only the valuable if it's trusted, well managed, and accessible to the right people. And what this tells us in the big picture. So it is telling that the data it's not just a part of the business anymore, and it is the business. It is the complete business, and managing it securely. responsibly and efficiently has become the uh, broad level of the priority. That's why Microsoft Purview plays such a vital role, helping us to understand and transform their ever-growing data assets into a real strategic advance. So as we move on to further into 2025, the data governance is not just as an the IT function. It's become truly interdisciplinary and central to the business strategy. So on the one slide, we have the discovery, right? So which is asking the foundational questions like what the data do, what we have, and where it is coming from. And we have another questions like, can I trust the data, right? On the other side, like we have the compliance, which is focusing on the risk exposure, usage compliance, and access control, and staying aligned with the regulations that which are evolving every year from GDPR to India's DPDP Act, and as well as the sector-specific policies. At the center of it all stands the chief data officer whose like role has grown from a technical custodian to the business leader responsible for connecting the data discovery and the compliance with uh, broader organizational goals. So this shifts that which like why traditional fragmented governance tools are no longer enough. Today, like we needed the unified and intelligent approach that which can handle the complexity of the modern data estates. So for data governance to truly drive the business values, it needs that the uh, addresses four key elements first. So first is we must manage the growing data landscape. And in 2025, obviously, the organizations which handles everything from the cloud native data and on-premise systems to the real-time IoT streams making visibility and the control absolutely critical. And second one, like it's about the overcoming and operational silos. So the data, which often lies is disconnected teams or the systems, which slows the insights and the innovations. And the third one, so we need to increase the data agility first, and the business must to move quickly from the raw data to the actionable insights as much as possible and adapting to the market strategies and the customer needs almost in the real time. And finally, it's essential to comply with industry regulations, and whether it is a privacy law like GDPR and DPDP or the sector-specific standards, which is the governance must make the compliance part of the daily operations in their organizations. So the Microsoft Purview was designed with these pillars in the mind, providing a unified approach to the governance that scales with the complexity, supports the collaboration, and keeps your organization secure and compliant. So as an organization scale, the data is no longer limited to the just one environment. We now see the data spread across the on-premise systems, SaaS applications, and the multi-cloud environments. The Microsoft Purview helps the organizations to bring all of this together with the unified approach to the data governance. And the hybrid means that the Purview doesn't force you to choose between the cloud or on-premises. So it supports both seamlessly, right? And which open means it is connects with the broad range of the platform, including the third-party systems. So you're not logged in. So this helps the organization to discover, classify, and to govern the data whatever it likes. So this slide, like it encapsulates the uh, Purview's core value propositions. So firstly, like it empowers us to reimagine the data governance in the cloud. So no longer, as we like constrained by the on-premise complexities and the Purview, which offers a unified data experiences and the scalable approach. So secondly, like it helps to set the foundation for effective data governance. This means that the discovery, classifying, and the cataloging, the data cataloging of your data assets, which across your entire digital estate. So whether it's in Azure or other clouds, or like it can be either or on premises. So third, the Purview, which helps us the maximize the business value of the data for the data customers. So by making the data discoverable and understandable, when we enable the data scientist, analyst, and applications to leverage it securely and effectively. And finally, it allows us to gain the strategic insights into data use across the estate. So this comprehensive visibility, which is crucial for compliance, risk management, and making the informed business decisions as well. So Purview is truly an end-to-end solutions for modern data governance. So let's get straight to the how Purview reimagines the data governance. So it's let us manage and govern all the type of data, like operational, transactional, and analytical in one place. So Purview is a cloud native and purpose built not on the on-premise, and this designs is the key for efficient discovery and compliance in the cloud. So being a fully managed serverless to PaaS service means less operational overhead for your terms. Microsoft handles the infrastructure, freeing your of your storage and strategical security initiatives. So ultimately, like the Purview, which eliminates the manual and the ad hoc solutions. So this brings the consistency, reduces the error, and provides a robust, auditable governance frameworks essential for the today's complex security and regulatory landscapes. So it begins with the automatic discovery across all your data sources, on-premise and the multi-clouds and the SaaS. So this unified view is a fundamental. So next, the Purview, which allows you to classify the data at scale. So this is not just about the identifying the sensitive data, but also the understanding the compliances first and the industry businesses. And the third is that the company specific values. So this classifications which drives the targeted security and it can like access the policies. So finally, you can like gain the critical visibility with the data lineages. So knowing where the data came from and what was the derived from it, it's invaluable for the audits, impact analysis, and ensuring the data integrity. So these capabilities together forms the robust foundation for your data governance strategy. So beyond the data governance, the Purview, which truly helps us to maximize the business value of the data. So it's about empowering your data consumers. We can connect the business and the technical users, like analysts, data analysts, data scientists, and the engineers as well, to work, like combine together to work trusted, unifying the data catalog. So this breaks down the silos and the fosters collaborations. The Purview, which enables the users to quickly find the data and understand its lineage or and the sensitivity of the data. So imagine the time saved and when your teams came the self-serve, the data discovery with the full context, reducing the reliance and on what the manual request is. So finally, where we can deliver a curated, consistent glossary of the business terms. So this ensures that everyone speaks the same data language, right? So data language would be the main problem in the organizations. So which can be eliminating the ambiguity and driving more accurate, impactful insights from your data sets. And which Purview allows you to understand at the glance how data is being created and used. This high level visibility is crucial for identifying the business potential risk. So you can visually assess the state of data sets, scans the data, and your business glossary will be, like you can align, and the sensitive data you can get. So, this slide visually represents the Purview, Microsoft Purview's unified architecture first. At its core is the data map, automating the metadata management across on-prem, cloud, and SaaS. So this powers the data catalog for effortless discovery and enables the securing of the data sharing. So for the governance, the data policy which governs and access while data estate insights accesses the purview which seamlessly integrates with your existing Azure and Microsoft 365 services. So crucial to the Purview's power is the Microsoft Purview's data map. So this is now it's like the living assets and their relationships across your entire hybrid estate. So it achieves this through the automated data scanning first, and it will classify your data, and you can, like extract the lineages. So even from the complex hybrid sources with over 200 built-in classifiers and the support for 35 plus data source, and growing the data map provides the unparalleled visibility. So it's the intelligent backbone that like which makes all your data truly meaningful for that governance and security. And building like on the data map, so we have the Microsoft Purview data catalog, so enabling effortless discovery of the trusted data. So it's like the powerful hub, the Microsoft Purview, which is a powerful hub where the users can search, browse, and curate the data assets. So imagine your data analyst and the scientist, which quickly, like finding the exactly what they need and eliminating the wasted time and reducing the data duplications. So the data catalog, which also provides the intelligent recommendations, so which helping the users to discover the relevant data, what they are like want to get, and they might not even know existed, right? And critically, you can visualize the data lineages, ensuring you can like ensure the users to understand the origin of the data and transformations of the data they can like consider. So this trust in the data is a paramount for accurate insights and the security usage. So next, let's look on the Microsoft Purview data sharing. So a powerful, like it's a capability, it has a powerful capability for the collaboration. So this enables you to easily share the data in place without the duplications. So within or even between the organizations. So this is the game changer for avoiding the data sprawl and ensuring the consistencies. So recipient where like they can get near real-time access to the shared data, accelerating the collaborative projects and insights. So you can also centrally manage all the sharing relationships, providing vital oversight and control. So currently it supports Azure Data Lake Storage, Gen 2, and Blob Storage, and expanding the security and efficient the data exchanges. So now let's talk about getting the crucial bird eye view of your entire data landscape with Microsoft Purview Data Estate Insights. So this feature, which provides the immediate visibility into key aspects like the data stewardship, helping identifying the ownership and the accountability. So you can like analyze the data assets distributions across your environment and understanding where your data resides. So critically, which it's offers the deep insights into your sensitive data posture and highlighting the where the sensitive information is and who has the access first. And finally, it can monitor the business glossary utilizations, ensuring the consistent understanding of your data terms. So these dashboards are invaluable for the proactive governance and security in our complex data environments in here in India, especially. So let's look at the Microsoft Purview data policy. So which simplifies the secure data access. So this intuitive experience, which empowers the data engineers and the owners to provisions the access directly to the data assets. And the Purview, which has the data policy, which supports a wide range of Azure services, including subscriptions, resource groups, Azure Blob Storage, and the data lake Gen 2, the Azure SQL DB, and the SQL Server 2022. Yeah, here this slide, like which beautifully illustrates the key benefit of the Microsoft Purview. So it helps you to like maximize your existing Microsoft investments at the center. The Purview, which unifies the data governance across your entire ecosystems. So it seamlessly integrate with Microsoft Azure, Microsoft 365, SQL servers, and the Power Platform as well. So this means whether your data is in multi-cloud, you can get to know that whether it is in hybrid or SaaS environments, and even like even the regardless of it being operational or analytical. So which the Purview, which provides a consistent layer of the data governance, so it ensures your security and the compliance efforts are cohesive. And here, like notice how many the core capabilities are generally available. So here, which it means that they are ready for a production environment here in India today. So from automated scanning and the multiple cloud support in the data map to comprehensive image catalog. So we also have the powerful data policy for accessing the access enforcement and the data sharing capabilities. So this rich feature, which ensures that Purview provides a robust and comprehensive solutions for simplifying your data governance journey. To truly, like to understand the Purview's impact, let's hear from a customer like the Andrew Eisenman. So, who is a head of the technology for cloud and data at Heathrow, which highlights, like who highlights how Purview is a game changer for them. So like he emphasizes that the Purview, which addresses not just for the governance, but empowers their analysts to easily to discover and understand the data across their ambitious data estate. So the ability to browse the lineage and which ensures they follow to trusted data and driving them to be more data driven and efficient. So this testimonial, which perfectly, like which can encapsulates how the Purview delivers the real world value by fostering a culture of the trusted data access and utilizations with large, complex organizations. So to ensure the successful Purview deployments and ongoing value, Microsoft collaborates with the robust ecosystem of the trusted partners. As you can see, the includes the global leaders like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, Capgemini, Accenture, and the Cognizant. Many of whom have, like they have significant presence and the expertise right here, like in India, across the India and across the globe. So these partners, who offers invaluable services from implementation and integration to ongoing management and strategic consulting. So they help organizations like your leverage the Purview to its fullest potential and simplifying your data governance journey with a local and global expertise. So let's delve into the crucial operational aspects. So how like optimizing scanning performances and best practices within Purview first. So let's jump into a common challenges first. So while Purview's data scanning is a vital for the population, populating the data map and enabling the data governance. So for many customers, including those in the India and across the globe, experiencing the extended scanning durations. So this impact both full and the incremental scans. So leading to the delays in metadata, which availability, like for a data classification and ultimately the bottlenecks in compliance workflows. So this high latency, which means your data governance efforts are are not as the real time as they could. So this problem, which is particularly evident when the scanning large number of the cloud sources like Azure Data Lake Storage, Gen2, and integrating within the on-premise data via the self-hosted integrated runtime, or when even using the complex classification logic and the custom sensitive labels. So which addressing these scenarios is the key to truly simplifying the data governance. So technical root cause, which behind those prolonged scan durations, which we discussed. So first, understanding these crucial for the optimization. First, we have the high cardinality of the assets. So tens of thousands of files or the database objects, especially within the nested folders in Azure Data Lake Storage Gen2, which significantly increase the data cataloging time. And second, there would be a possibility that the optimal self-hosted runtime, integrated runtime resources, which is uh, within the limited CPU or the RAM lead, which can, like to resource the starvation during the concurrent scans. And the third, which is could be a broad scan scope. So which defaults the scan often includes the unnecessary temporary files, or like there can be in a log file or the empty tables which can wasting the scan cycles. The fourth, which has the possibility like we can call the complex classification logic, which will be having a multiple routes where we have set it up, and especially the regex, the regular expression based patterns, which can exponentially increase the processing time. And finally, we have the non-optimized authentication, which using the SQL authentication for Azure SQL, or no or on-premised instead of managed identity, which can causes the throttling and increases the latency. So addressing these areas will significantly improve our Purview performances. So how, do we tackle these challenges? Here are the key design recommendations for the optimizing the Purview scan performances. So first we have the narrow scan scope. So targeting the specific folders or the schemas and which crucially used to exclusion filters to ignore the low value directories like temp or the log files. And second one is that classifications optimizations, so which applies only the relevant classification rule sets. So disable, you can disable out of the scope rules to reduce the processing overhead. And the third one, scan scheduling. So avoiding avoid you can avoid overlapping scans that like compared for self-hosted integrated resource runtime resources. Schedule heavy scans during of off-peak hours to minimizing the impact. And fourth one, incremental versus the full scans. So always, you can always use the incremental scans after the initial full scan. Evaluate, your data change frequency to determine the how optimal incremental scans cadence. So implementing these practices, which will significantly improve your purview scanning efficiency here in across the globe. So let's discuss how to effectively manage shared data resources in Purview. a common, like the scenario in large organizations here in the globe. So first, uh, implement a parent collection strategy. So first of all, like register the shared sources at the parent level. Then you can create the scans under the child sub collections for the team specific visibility. So ungrouped those you can ungroup those sources which will appear in the dotted box. I will like you can see it on the screen. So which is indicating no parent link, right? So when registering the multiple Azure resources using the Azure multiple options to add the subscriptions or the resource groups, which will enables the scalable cloud source registrations. So crucially, you can scan the same source for the multiple times if different teams or the business units, which is use it differently. So leverage the helpful resources within the purview to scan the multiple sources and check the data at the scale. And beyond the scanning the design, the infrastructure optimization is the like the crucial for the performances as well. So first, the we have the sheer configuration, self-hosted integrated runtime configuration, where we like recommend the baseline of at least the eight vCPU and 128 GB RAM for the self-hosted integration runtimes. Scaling out, which is the clustered self-hosted integrated runtime we have. And crucially, configure max memory available and the max concurrent scan jobs in your obviously in your self-hosted integrated runtime config for optimal the resource utilization. And second, we have the networking optimization where you can deploy the self-hosted integrated runtime in the same VNet as your data sources. So use the private endpoints for Azure native sources and implement the express route, or you can use the VPN gateway for on-premise data. So which will like gives you the minimizes the latencies. So finally, we have the authentication hierarchy. So first, you should do is that like we have to prioritize the system assigned the managed identity. Then like you have to go for the user assigned MI, and followingly like we followed by the service principals. So SQL authentication should be like your last resort due to the performance and the security first. And always ensure the RBAC policies, RBAC rules like the storage blobs, the storage blob data reader and correctly assigned. So by tuning these efforts, which like gives you the big impact and for the scanning the speed. So beyond the infrastructure, the scan rule optimization is the critical one. So this is all about the intelligent which uses of the Purview's classification capability. The first rule is that for the rule
Jay Surya,
consolidation.
just a small reminder, we have 7 minutes left, or 6 minutes
Yeah,
rather.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. I will just close with this slide, and I will show you the demo for at least 3 minutes. Right? Okay. So the second one is that the file type optimization, which will match the delimiters and encoding, and importantly, like first we have the skip binary formats like image or the PDFs, unless they are strictly required for the classification. So third, disable the global classifier for the irrelevant geographies. So for example, if you are only dealing with the Indian or the US data, turn off the classifiers for other regions like Singapore or any other Europe countries. So finally, you can set up the rule for trigger controls. Use the event-based or the scheduled triggers only when the metadata changes. So here, I will stop it here, and let me go to the So first, for deploying the Microsoft Purview in your ecosystem, first what you have to do is that, like, you should uh, deploy the Microsoft Purview first, Purview resource, and you should have the subscription based like to access it, and you should have the storage accounts. And in the local systems, you should have the Azure Storage Explorer. So here I have already deployed the resource group first, and I will open it and I will show it to you. So what are the things you need? The Purview and the storage account. And for you can take any of the sensitive data to classify. So what I have done is that I have downloaded the sensitive data, which is all about the US resident, uh, uh, the citizens' records. It's a random data. So what I have done. So let me get into the Purview. So here I'm opening the governance portal first. So what here I have done is that, like, I have included the data through the Azure Storage Explorer. So what you have to do is that you should create a storage account and you have to map it around it. So for this, you should go to the storage account, and you have to ensure that whether you have the storage blob storage explorer, the reader account. At least you should have the reader account. So what you can do is that you can go to the access control, and you can just check yourself that whether you have the prompt access for you. So here, after some time, it will show you that whether you have the storage blob reader account. So here, I have the storage blob data reader access, and by this, what you can do is that you can access the data by enrolling this account. So what the account you have deployed on the Azure portal, that subscription you have to give it to here, and you have to collaborate. And after that, you have to like upload the data what you have. So by clicking that, you will be having the two options that you can upload the complete folder or you can upload the complete file. So after completing this process, you can directly jump into the Purview first. And here at the left, you will be having the 6 options: the data catalog, data mapping, and the data estate insights, where you can get, and you can define the data policies for the data scan. And first, I am map. So here we have the collections. So this collections, like it defines that what are all the storage accounts, the assets what we have. So here we have the data sources where we are mapping it to scan. So for this, what I have done is that we should, register the data sources. So it will list it out what all the data sources what you can have access. So from the local, you can do the data mapping, and you can scan the data, scan, and you can classify the data. So for this, I have used the Azure Blob Storage. And here, if you can just see the icon, which like it will gives you the scanning information. So for this, it will defaultly it will give you the name, and after this you should give the credentials what we have, and you can test for the connections what all the like whether it is giving the conflict, and tell continue. And by here you can see what all the data sources what we have. So here I have the coronavirus query set. So I have took the data for 2 years, and you can like
So Surya, we have already 1 minute over. Can you wrap this up a little early,
yeah, sure.
please?
Yeah, sure. I will just close it up. So here, if you giving the continue, it will gives you the scanning informations, and you here you can give you the scanned rule sets. What are all the fields that you wanted to scan, and what all the fields you wanted to like omit it. So after this, after scanning this, you can see it on the assets what we have. So here we have listed out the assets. So if I'm clicking it here, go to the sorry. So if you edit it, so here I have the queries by the country, and here you can see the properties, and here you can see the schema. So these are all the like the fields what we have in the table, what we have in the data. So here it has listed out all the column names, and you can set up the you can edit, or you can add the glossaries into it. So for getting the informations, we don't know that the analyst would not know that what is implicit, and the popularity something. So you can gives you the you can give you the short or the glossary terms where you can give where you can find out the data easily, and you can add as a description which will gives you the better understanding of the data what the schema is telling about, right? So any questions? And thought of like covering the data policies as well, but due to the time constraints I could not able to do that. So if you have any questions, we can go through that, or else you can put it on the chat box.
Yeah, I think we should get started with the quiz.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so over to you. Let's stop the recording for this session.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So let me get my screen shared really quickly, and I'll bring up the quiz. And as we have been mentioning, please register into the platform so that you can participate on the quiz. I would quickly share